almost didn't
No,
make
she's
my
on
phone.
her way. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
You ready, Brian?
All right. I hereby call to order this budget hearing of the Board of Education of the Tuxedo Union Free School District on Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, we will now call roll.
Heather Kidda. Here. Alyssa Horniff.
Here.
Dan Castricone.
Here.
William Clark.
Here.
Bill Givens.
Here.
Gary Hefner.
Here.
A quorum is present.
Wonderful. The goal of this meeting is to inform the public of our approved budget for 2024-2025. We'll be reviewing a presentation, and so I'll turn it over to kick us off.
Okay, so we've had multiple budget meetings, and tonight is a hearing. So the board adopted the budget already, or a series of questions have been asked and answered. The budget, we've had a number of meetings, and we invited public input into the budget. At this juncture, the budget's completed. It's been adopted by the board. It's been transmitted up to Albany. So at this point, this meeting is really just to hear from the community. But in case there was anybody in the public who didn't get a chance to hear the final presentation, Mr. Weir is just going to give a brief summary, and after that, we're going to hear from the community, and that'll be it. So with that, Mr. Weir. And if you just could, everybody just speak directly into the mic so they can hear you at home.
Okay, good evening, board. Welcome to our 5th budget workshop for the 24-25 school year. I'll try to keep this brief as it's starting to feel like Groundhog's Day at this point. But most of what I'm covering tonight is really just reiterations of the prior meetings. As you know, the budget was adopted by the board at the previous meeting. Okay, so here we have the budget calendar. There's only a couple dates left at this point, with the biggest one being the 5/21 budget vote date. I encourage everyone to exercise their right to vote. So here is Proposition 1, the adopted budget. As you can see, this represents a year-over-year spending increase of 3.49% and a levy increase of 3.94%, which is within the New York State tax cap and also below the statutory CPI. This translates to an actual tax rate increase of 1.88% for Tuxedo and 2.65% for our community members residing in Warwick. On the ballot, the proposition will read not to exceed $15,130,485.
And Brian, those tax rates are estimates based upon the latest roll and the latest equalization rate, and those are subject to change. Many districts don't even report them. They're unable to report the tax rates. We do, but with those caveats, right?
Yep, absolutely. All right, so the next couple of slides are Proposition 2 and 3. And, it's exactly how they will read on the ballots. 2, we just have the equalizing board vacancies. And 3, we have the capital project or the use of capital reserve funds. For anyone watching at home, these slides are available on the website for your reference. That's the Tuxedo School website. All right, again, this is what will this cost me as a taxpayer. So as Jeff just mentioned, based on the most recent assessment values and the most recent equalization rates, we're showing a 1.88% tax rate increase for Tuxedo and 2.65% for Warwick. All right, so this is a chart that the county was kind enough to put together for us. It shows how our tax rate, our school tax rate, compares to some of our peers in Orange County. As you can see currently, Tuxedo's lowest on this list. So if, for example, you take a home with a market value of $500,000, school tax in Tuxedo is $4,803. If you move over one town and you have a similarly priced home, you're looking at a school tax of $8,957, and that's in Monroe. All right, the three-part budget. New York school districts must, by law, divide their budgets into three components. And each year, they must present the totals to the community. This information will be presented in greater detail on the upcoming newsletter, which will be mailed out to all taxpayers later this month. And the components are administrative, which represents 14.55% of the budget. We have the program, which represents 72.25% of the budget. This is clearly the largest component. It funds all pre-K through 12 teacher and PPS salaries. We have benefits, textbooks, equipment, contractual services, materials, supplies for the classroom, as well as BOCES support, library, computer technology, and related instructional costs. Then finally, we have capital, which is 13.2% of the overall budget. Okay, so what happens if the budget fails? Under education law, if the budget fails to get voter approval on two separate votes, the district would be subject to a contingency budget. If we had to have a second vote, that would be on the third Tuesday in June. And the contingency budget limits districts to the amount of the prior year tax levy. So for us, that would mean the current budget as adopted would need to be reduced by $480,710. So some required reductions under a contingency budget. Most equipment, meaning just about all equipment unless it can be directly tied to the health and safety of students. We have non-essential maintenance and the public use of facilities and fields by community groups, organizations, meaning we couldn't host summer camps, for example, or soccer practices for outside leagues. Just a couple of examples. And then the budgetary reductions necessary to remain compliant with the contingency budget might also include non-mandated transportation, athletics and extracurricular activities, and staff positions, which could result in increased class sizes, diminished elective offerings, and/or reduced student support services. And I'd like to note that some of these things are mandated reductions, while other things are really at the discretion of the board. But at a minimum, we would have to hit that $480,000 number. And this slide we presented at the last meeting. It's just a number of highlights, some things that we're really proud of and things that are included in this upcoming budget. I'm not going to go through each bullet point, but again, this is available on the Tuxedo website. So here's the budget, vote date, and site. So the date is May 21st, 2024, from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it's located at the GGM Elementary School within the multi-purpose room, which is where we are right now. And with that said,
We'll turn it over to the public.
turn it over to the public.
Questions,
Yep.
Comments, concerns? You ladies have any questions back there? All right. Bonnie, anything? Okay.
Great. I think,
Joanne, you good? Okay.
and I think the only other agenda item, thank you,
Thank you.
Graham, is the budget newsletter, which will go out in the mail shortly.
Yes.
Right.
With the 6-day notice in there. Yep, that's
Yep.
required by law.
Great.
Excellent.
Perfect. So I'd like to move to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Picture.
Our closest had a, and
All right.
is Kimberly not coming out?